I'm curious, you seem almost like surprised that the life cycle email marketing has become the thing. Just
Yeah.
the way I read some of your posts or the way that you talk about it, you're like, yeah, I end up doing this for a lot of people. And it's like, seems almost surprising to you that this is kind of becoming a thing. How many things did you go through, or what were some of the things that you went through as like offerings or services until you feel like you landed on this one that started to gain more traction?
Well, I mean, like having done agency work, in-house work, startup work, like I think I've done it all. The only thing I think that I really haven't ever done is paid media, which is funny because, if I tell someone I work in growth, they're like, "Oh yeah, so you run ads."
Like, I don't work in demand, and they're like, "What are you talking about?"
In some ways, I am surprised that that kind of email and life cycle is where I feel like I've sort of almost ended up for this moment. I'm not saying it's where I'll finish, but
Totally get that.
like for right now, it's where I'm at because it's like it's driving significant revenue results for people who actually trust me on it. And I think that maybe it's like almost the perfect storm of all of the different skills. It's the intersection of all of like the things I've done in the past. It's some creative, it's some strategy, it's some like pricing and packaging, it's some understanding the customer, there's some, there's some technical stuff, there's automation, there's like heaps of different things. And to be really good at that stuff, you have to be in the kind of the middle of that. And like I am, and I'm not aware of that many people who are offering that. I hope there's a reason that many people aren't offering that, and it's just, they can't do it rather than it's not valuable. So that's where I'm at.
Well, people choose to do one component of that, right? I think the secret sauce for you is in the packaging. You're like, there are 9 different things that go into making this work. The vast majority of people offer 1 or 2 of these 9.
Yeah.
And that's why when you hire, and you well framed on the problem on your site, by the way, like you framed this up beautifully. It's the same exact narrative. You were like, most of the people, like they're not going to take you all the way. Like they'll just write the emails for you, or they'll just do the setup and the automation for you, or they'll just do, everyone always wants to sell strategy. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's not that there's something wrong with not going all the way with your clients, but I personally believe that it is in our best interest to make the biggest difference for our clients. And part of that is seeing everything all the way through. There's a lot of people that don't do that. And I don't know why they don't do that. It's just maybe their skill sets like have a more defined endpoint and they're like, that's not what I do. And that's fine. And I totally respect that. But I do believe that seeing it through, which is what you're doing, I believe that's why what you're doing is making the difference that it is.
Yeah. Well, I hope that's true. I believe it. No, I believe that is true because you know what, like if you've seen my website or any of the stuff that I produce, I'm pretty obsessed with like the concept of punk. And when people think about punk, they think about Johnny Rotten, they think about the kind of the Sex Pistols or whatever. But I think it's so much broader than that. And what I love about punk is that it's about DIY, like the kind of the aesthetic of DIY, as in like, just make it happen. Like get your hands dirty. There's no right way of doing this. That's very much how I see marketing and growth. Like there is no one right way of doing this. There's a lot of wrong ways, but like the key one is you don't do it, like just get out, get your hands in and like figure it out. And I love that feeling. I love that feeling of figuring it out with someone. And, the first shot, maybe not the best shot. The second shot, you're going to get better. And like, you're going to keep on taking those shots. And over time, you're going to figure it out. And that's going to be great when you do, because despite the fact that you think about a punk record, like you listen to it now, like it sounds like it was recorded, through a wall. It sounds terrible, but like, doesn't it say something, the fact that those sound like that and they're still songs that you can sing all the words to. They're still songs that you remember. They're still songs that when you had a bad day and you need a bit of energy in your life, you put that on and you can listen to Dead Kennedys or whatever in the kitchen, or Talking Heads, post punk, and you can still sing all of those songs while you're cleaning the dishes and feel amazing. Like that energy for founders, for people in startups and SaaS, like that's the energy they need, because it's absolutely rough going through the same thing every day and feeling like I'm going to like create shareholder value today. That's a rough feeling.
Yeah. Well, it's contagious. That's the other part about it that I think goes very much overlooked across the board, whether it's people like us trying to make friends and find peers doing the same work, and trying to find people who are high energy and not like, oh, that person who's like bouncing off the walls and had too many energy drinks like someone who has just a really great, it's like, I don't want to call it vibe. There's just something about them that you're like, I like being around this person. They give me a lot of energy. They're really positive. They're doing really interesting things. And you're providing that same type of energy to your clients. And when you're around people, like people who just are a drag, it's the same thing. And then when you listen to and then I appreciate the way that you're tying it back to one thing that like a very personal part of your life. And a lot of my growing up was like listening to that type of music. One, it brings a lot of those people with the same energy together, but also it gives you energy. We did a whole podcast about this on my other show about like, how do you follow that energy, and how do you just being aware of it is huge.
You ever read The Charisma Myth?
No.
It's a good book. Charisma is what it is. Like, some people are born with a little bit of natural charisma, but the argument of the book, and so I buy into this deeply, is that you can build charisma in a way that's like authentic to you and doesn't require you to be like an extrovert effectively. I mean, that's my brand because that's me, like that's how I am in normal life. If you meet me, this is mostly how I am. I'm not putting on a show when I'm on a behind a microphone or on a webcam or whatever. It's just how I am. But like equally, you can give that no matter what you are doing, who you are, as long as you can kind of show that interest, connect with people, they will feel that kind of magnetism. Because that's what it is, really. It's this like feeling of magnetism that you can't put your finger on. I want to be around that person. I want to buy into their ideas. I want to like find opportunities to work with them. It's why I love coaching, actually. Like, I love being able to get I do a lot of that as kind of for founders and things. And I love being able to go like, oh, you've entered this call and I can tell that this is hard for you. But like, if we can in the next hour kind of change it so that your face changes by the end, not like because you've got a bad face, but like the energy in your face, behind your eyes. Like, I want you to leave the call feeling like less tired, feeling like less worn out, like you could pee through a wall, like I want you to feel like that, That's amazing. That's a great feeling.